Somehow, Angry Birds Mystery Island returned. Here we go again with this absolute brain rot of an Angry Birds show. If you've been following my channel since at least September of 2024, you already know that I've made 2 videos about Happy Birds Miserable Island. I swear, with every new part of this show, Miserable Island only gets more miserable. As of writing this script, part 3 has just released, so you all know the drill. Not only that, but over 100 of you really enjoyed me ranting about a kids show for 17 minutes straight. So you know what they say, the third time's the charm. With this intro done, let's dive right back into the miserable world of Angry Birds Miserable Island. Again, this video will contain spoilers. You guys don't care, so let's just get this over with.
Know your f***ing place, trash!
Just a quick recap on who our main characters are. There's Buddy, the scaredy cat, Rosie, the deaf one, Hamilton, the British pig, and the pink spoiled brat who shall not be named. Oh yeah, and there's an egg that can dance. I don't care. The whole plot of this first episode is while going through a bunch of trash, they find the Angry Birds version of a McDonald's Happy Meal. Of course these things love Happy Meals. Anyways, they all want it. The only way to settle this problem, according to Hamilton, is with a competition. Also, this is like the second time now they reference Squid Game with the whole outfits and the first challenge. Oh yeah, the references, because we surely love them. The whole episode is just these 3 mistakes competing over a Happy Meal. At one point, Spoiled Brat tries to cut the bridge. Guys, listen. This thing is willing to kill her friends just so that she can get a Happy Meal. This is a dangerous individual! But Spoiled Brat realizes her mistake. Buddy and Rosie fall to their demise. Well, at least they almost fall to their demise. I can't even tell you how many times these kids almost died, either by natural causes or something stupid. They then realize that friendship is magic. They launch a coconut at a target and it ends up destroying the Happy Meal and the compass inside it. I don't know why a compass would be inside a Happy Meal of all things. The moral of this episode was, don't try to kill your friends over a Happy Meal. Episode 2. Rosie wants her own personal space and is sick of the others constantly bugging her with their antics. She goes off to find a spot just right for her, which she does, only for the others to show up and ruin everything for Rosie. And as Rosie is about to crash out, the group realizes they were within the fur of this pig beast thing. It may have been the same one we saw at the end of part 2. Whatever this thing is, it takes Rosie. It takes her all the way out to this snowland. The boar really likes the sound of the golden seashells mixed with Rosie's voice. Also, if anyone can tell me what sound Hamilton makes here, I'll give you a cookie. Everything is peaceful here until these idiots ruin it. The boar gets mad, takes Rosie, thinks that he's King Kong. Rosie then tells Tux, what she names the beast, to stop running away from his problems or whatever. A giant snowball hits Tusk and Rosie. They fall, and they both die. I'm just kidding, they're okay. We find out that the boar was hibernating in the wrong frickin' place. And then the group realizes that Rosie needs her own personal space sometimes. And that's the end of episode 2. At this point in time, this is where I begin to question the existence of the show. I mean, I have ever since we got the first teaser, but seriously, this is where I genuinely question everything. The episode begins with Buddy finding some balloons. He then acts like a mentally unstable patient and shocks his friends. He even chases Spoiled Brat through the jungle and references The Shining. The group finds an entire tree of plantations. They eat all of it. These kids are bigger menaces than Dennis the Menace. They really should not have done that because, oh wow, they get captured by a freaking tribe of apes. This is certainly something you would see in an Angry Birds show. About the tribe, this means I was actually wrong in my first review when I said that no civilization existed on the island. Okay, fine. The leader of the tribe is named Tumanene. The leader of the tribe is named Tuba. And do you want to know how she got that name? She was playing around with this thing and it said Tuba. So inspiring. They were also, like, spying on these kids. Like, am I the only one that finds that kind of weird? Spoiled Brat fixes the play and say, and they hold a celebration for her because she's Miss Entitled! The apes plan to eat Miss Pink Pitiful's friends. So, she devises a plan using the balloons and using static electricity. She attacks the apes, which, by the way, I don't think this is how static electricity works.
Oh my god, shut the frick up! It's a kid's cartoon! It's not supposed to make sense!
Ugh, moving on. Spoiled Brat then turns into Goku, which this is just so freaking stupid. A chase scene happens, and before the apes game and the group, they stop when they realize that the rocks they were holding were coconuts. And then they make peace with the group, and that's how the episode ends. What? Guys, is there something I'm not getting here? I feel like there's something I'm not understanding. Is it just me? I feel like it's only me that's the one confused. Am I going crazy? The group prepares for Egg's hatch day. Buddy is in charge of watching Egg, which he fails, while the others try to find perfect presents for Egg. It's also worth mentioning, because this is brought up, Red is actually the mayor in this universe. Is this the movie universe? Another universe? I don't even know anymore. Hamilton finds a baby rattle. He then mentions how he would use it if he were casted as a villainous rattlesnake. That may be a reference to Ringo, because one of the villains in that movie is a rattlesnake, and I can't really think of any other rattlesnake villains. God, these references are killing me. Throughout the episode, Egg is just minding his own business. He ends up with the tribes of apes and they do some kind of musical number. I don't even want to talk about it because of how unnecessary and dumb it is. Did I mention that the group goes looking for Egg? They find pieces of his shell and assume that he went back to his family, his real family. But oh hey, he comes back and everybody is happy! Spoiled Brat comes up with the idea to build a rocket to go back home, using these rocks. They all go through training. The show then pulls some real-world science stuff, addressing the whole dumping a bunch of snow into the volcano thing. Apparently when they did that, which they should not have been able to do that, it cooled the volcano so much that it created bubbles light enough so that the group could float inside them. I'm not an expert on volcanoes or science in general, so for the sake of my well-being, I'm not even gonna try to piece that all together. Fast forward to the day of the launch and oh no, someone freaking sabotaged the rocket! What kind of sick person would do such a thing? This frog? No, it was Hamilton. He sabotaged the rocket because he thought that the birds would stop being friends with him when they returned to Bird Island. Out of all of the times you tried to escape the island, you only thought about that just now? Buddy comes up with a genius idea to build a water park. Surely nothing goes wrong doing that. Yeah, the water park causes a drought that affects the entire island. Just another example of how destructive these little demons are. But don't worry, folks. Everything gets restored in exactly 27 seconds. Miserable Island logic! So the finale here is split up into two parts, so I'll just talk about both episodes 7 and 8, and holy moly, the volcano is erupting! Wait, the volcano's erupting? Oh, that's no big deal! Just dump a whole bunch of snow in there, that'll fix the problem! After almost dying again, Hamilton's homework, of all things, leads them to a cave. And by the way, the paper stays dry throughout all of this, despite being exposed to heavy rain. I don't know if that paper is water resistant or if it was just protected by plot armor. They make it to the cave, Egg starts freaking out and runs loose into the cave. The group then finds themselves with ancient structures? What? They find Egg in the catapult and there's a puzzle that they have to solve. They solve the puzzle by using Hamilton's homework! After they solve it, a portal opens and they get flung into the portal. And they end up on Bird Island, and that's the end. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm glad I no longer have to watch this stupid series. If we were living in a perfect world, this show would not be a thing. But unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world. And that is not the end. They think they landed on Bird Island, but they are surprised when they see pigs! Buddy, Rosie, Egg, and Spoiled Brat disguise themselves as pigs. I'm gonna mention this now. Every pig in this town is either British or Scottish. That's something I just realized. Egg finally hatches out of his egg and he looks like some kind of dinosaur bird abomination. And it's also his fault that the birds get caught. When I was watching this episode for the first time, I was genuinely confused about what was happening, but now I feel like I have a somewhat decent understanding of things, so I'll try to explain everything the best I can. So, in the very first episode of this garbage series, when they landed on the Mystery Island, I can't believe I said that, the plot twist here is the island they landed on was actually Bird Island only millions of years ago, or however long it was. And the reason why Egg looks like this is apparently because he was one of the first birds, but he hasn't evolved and probably never will. And as a result of bringing Egg to the present, they have inadvertently gotten rid of all birds, which explains why these three are fading away. I hope you all understood what I said, because I am not repeating myself. Hamilton acts as a distraction while the four birds escape. All the way back to the ancient ruins or whatever. They manage to get on the catapult, get launched into the portal, and the episode ends on a cliffhanger? Are you actually serious? Where do I even begin? I'm gonna say this right now. This show went from mid to just awful. Going into this show, I knew that it would be no greater than good, but oh my god. I feel like there was no clear direction for this show. Rovio obviously didn't know what they wanted this thing to be. There were so many different narratives that they went with. Nobody working on this thing had any idea what they were doing. And the pacing? It was just way too fast. These last 8 episodes had to be rushed. Rovio decided to release these episodes in parts just to drag out this series, because if they hadn't done that, this show would have not reached their expectations. This show went from a 5 to a 4.9. I swear, I hope this is the last I will hear of Angry Birds Miserable Island, because if there's more, I'm actually gonna go insane. Not like I went insane already watching this show to begin with. But yeah, that's it for this video. What do you guys think? Was this a good conclusion to this show? Did you enjoy Angry Birds Mystery Island? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you'll never miss a new video. A bunch of you that watch my channel are not subscribed anyway, so that'll really help. Oh my word, I feel like I lost so many brain cells watching this show. Guys, 1 like equals 1 brain cell restored. Please help me restore my sanity. Alright guys, just have a good day and, I don't know, do whatever you want. I don't care.